Okay, Mr. Mahdi, we are on day 4. The floor for you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rubai. So, as you know, because of pandemic, everything was closed, everything stopped, the live was stopped. So, as you know, chess, the game which we can play anywhere, even via online, we don't have any problem with chess game, not like other games. For that, FIDE was thinking to make some events online and to create regulation for the online chess. For that, since the pandemic, competitive chess has followed online, and a couple of first ever online chess tournament drew a large audience on various online platform. So there were many platforms they played on it. That was Lichess, chess.com, and other platform. It was easy to use and play on this type of platform. And the need for the new regulation. So FIDE asked from Rules Commission, I was chairman that time, to make regulation for online chess. Then after a while, they asked to make another regulation for hybrid chess. So they decide to use this regulation for Chess Olympiad 2020, and the event was marred by the multiple issue like power stages and internet disconnection. So even the regulation we have, but we have problem with some disconnection, other things. So this we have to find another solution for this regulation. So during the quarterfinal, in Chess Olympiad, the Armenian team protest over their losing the game due to the poor internet connection at the chess.com. So the protest and FIDE appeals committee commission, they reject the protest. The portal where the tournament was played, and it was chess.com. So first they start with chess.com, then the team withdrew from the game when the appeals was rejected, paving the way for they give way to India to enter the semi-final. The finals was between India and Russia. And in this case, also it was problem about internet. And that time it was witnessed a worldwide global server outage. So this time was problem for the global. So in this case, the FIDE decide to, because one happened this problem, the result was something about equal about 2-0 for the Russian, and the Indian, they have another 2 games they will win. So then there were no time to play and continue playing new games, and FIDE decide Indian win 2 points, so they became equal and both have same points, and they decide for the first time to give both of them the gold medal. So this is what political decision from the FIDE for this chess Olympiads. So then new rules for the competition chess online was thought the framework of introduction used for the tournament, and there were new rules have been set regarding the video. So we have video conference software, and we have now cameras, we have players conduct, as per Article 14 of the new charter that concern the cameras and microphones. So everyone has to use their camera and microphone and enter via the Zoom. So all was controlling the players via the Zoom by the arbiters. And also they were controlling via the platform itself. For example, they were playing in the chess.com. The chess.com, they have already anti-cheating people and check the result and games. Then it was also not allowed to use a green screen, or not permitted, and player to face as well as surroundings. So the background must be the normal, which is showing everything around you. So no, not allowed to have background such as nice photo or nice, some people or your parents or kids, nothing else. So it must be clear. So must be clear with proper lighting. Even the lighting must be good lighting. Arbiter can watch your face when they monitoring your games. The article also demands extra cameras to keep track of the contest. So we have two type of camera. One camera in front camera, which is from laptop or from the desktop. The second camera, one side, right or left side camera, and to see the complete body and contact eyes, contact everything, we have can focus and control all the room which the players are sitting in it. So in this case, we have fully control about the player. So nobody allowed to be inside the room with the player, only the player and with his laptop and or his PC. So it was not allowed to use a mobile phone, not allowed to use iPad, iPod, only laptop and system computer. And microphone must be of high quality. What you mean high quality? I can hear anything inside the room. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe one of parent beside the room maybe give some structure, some information, cheating the player. For that, we have to listen very carefully and hear very carefully. For that, we ask to be microphone, it's very sharp and must be high quality and enough to transmit any audible sound from the player surrounding, including the click. When you click the mouse, tick, 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 so I can hear also the noise. Then we have the FIDE online chess regulation are intended to cover all competition where players play on the virtual chessboard and transmit move via the internet. So wherever possible, these regulations are intended to be identical to the FIDE laws of chess and related FIDE competition regulation, such as online chess Olympiad, continental event, and so on. But we have something, not everything can be covered because some article cannot use, which is the touch move cannot use, illegal move cannot use, because in the real game, the arbiter there, players can touch the piece and they can play illegal move. But online, not possible to make a touch move because already you touch by your mouse and you move your pieces. So even cannot play illegal move because the system will not allow you to play illegal move. Here's we have the difference. So they are intended for use by player and arbiter in official FIDE online competition and as the technical specification for online chess platform hosting the competition. So the host was platform. Which type platform? We have chess.com, Lichess, Tornado, and so on. So they were using chess.com. Then FIDE went to use a Tornado. Then they come again, make contract with chess.com. Now any FIDE event online by chess.com. This regulation cannot cover all possible situations that may arise during the competition, but it should be possible for an arbiter with the necessary competence, sound judgment, and objectivity to arrive at the correct decision based on he or his understanding the regulation. Sometimes some position in the normal chess board it looks like draw, but it's not draw. For example, king with two knights, there is possibility to give checkmate. Okay, how many moves? I don't know. Depend on how the good players or not bad players. For that, there is possibility for checkmate. But in online chess, they give draw. In this case, arbiter has to go and change the result or give him chance to play until 50 moves. Then after 50 moves, he can go and make it the result draw. We have Article 1 to 3 of the basic rules of play from the FIDE laws of chess are fully applied except Article 2.1. Article 2.1 we cannot use, such as touch and other. Article 2.1 of the basic rule for even for FIDE laws of chess is supervised by the Article 3.1. Here we have changed between the Article 2.1 and with Article 3.1 with the, this regulation. Article 4 and Article 5 in laws of chess of basic rules of the play for the FIDE laws of chess are superseded by the Article 3 and 5 of the this regulation. So we have only slightly changed in the online or hybrid chess, or especially in online chess. Playing zone. As you know, the playing zone we have now, we have Zoom, which is the place, and we have the platform, which is Tornado, Lichess, and other. So the virtual chessboard shall be hosted by an online playing zone, usually an application or website. So we have now other place, and instead to be in the club or be in the tournament hall in the hotel somewhere. Now we have Zoom, and we have so a platform we use such as Tornado to play and challenge each other. The list of moves shall be visible on the screen. So when you use if you go and play your game via Lichess or chess.com, sure, on the right side you can find all your move when you play. So already PGN file will be visible. You can see your move in the screen. So this shall be for arbiter and both player through the game, to be very clear. And each player is responsible for familiarizing themselves with the playing zone features and functions. So in the Zoom, always we ask the player to upgrade the Zoom or update the Zoom, because Zoom sometimes they have some bugs, so we need to update it every time, and to be all functions on features is work. Then we have the virtual chessboard is composite with an x times x grid and equal. So we have the chessboard right lower corner square is white, and moves are made on the virtual chessboard using the playing device, for example, computer with the mouse or a tablet. Now we said only computer and laptop which allowed to use, and we have mouse to move the pieces, and instead to use by hand, which is the for a normal. Now we're using mouse, and the playing zone shall only accept legal moves. So this is here we have different from online chess with the laws of chess, the normal. Here not accept illegal move by computer, automatic, not allowed to play illegal move. And same thing, already you touch the pieces, so they cannot consider as a touch move. The player have the move shall be allowed to use any technical mean available on the playing zone to make his or her moves. As a minimum, the playing zone must offer the possible to select the source and target square to make his or her move. So very easy and very easy to deal with such as equipment. The following additional option is, so we have something called smart move, smart move and pre-move. The smart move may play a move by selecting a single square when unique move can be done involving that square. This we call smart move. And we have pre-move. The pre-move, you already ready when your player, you know the player, your player, for example, will attack your piece or capture your piece. You are ready to capture his piece, so you make pre-move. But okay, once your player opponent player move, automatic your move will play. But here little bit risky because maybe you play a illegal move, meaning you play bad move, you lose the piece. So be careful about pre-move. The players enter his move before the opponent made his move. So you are ready. Already you capture by mouse your piece, so you are ready to play your move. Once your opponent finishes move, automatic this move will be run. This means pre-move. And as I said, be careful because happen with many grandmaster during some FIDA events online, and he played pre-move, but his calculation was wrong. The opponent played different move, so he has to play because pre-move automatic they move your piece. The move is automatically executed on the board and is immediately response to the opponent's move. Then we have auto promotion to queen, and this features also we have to stop. Why? Because once your pawns reach the farthest square in the square 8 for a white or black, this means you have to promote. What you promote? Queen. If you make active of this the features auto promotion, so automatically give queen, but there's no chance to change pieces. But if you inactive this sign, and they will ask you which pieces you want to promote, queen, knight, rook, bishop. They will ask you. For that, better don't make active or auto promotion to queen. So the player may set up the playing zone to force the promotion to the queen without being offered to the choose promoted pieces. So all moves and clock time after each move are automatically recorded by the playing zone and visible for both players. So it will be recorded. Even the Zoom who managing, who's director, he has to record the Zoom in case any violence, anything happen, we can return back to the video and check what happened exactly and what time happened. If a player is unable to move the pieces, an assistant who shall be acceptable to the arbiter may be provided by the player to same like normal game. So in case today I have a problem, my hand, broken hand, something happened, so I cannot touch the move, I cannot move the pieces. So in this case, must I have one assistant to move. I'm telling please play queen 4, knight f3, for example. So he will move pieces knight f3, but must be this is agreeable and approved by the arbiter. If a player is unable to move the pieces, then we said it will be monitoring by the Zoom camera. Sometimes we have disability people playing with us. So in this case, we create a room, a private room with a displayer, and the player will be inside the room with his assistant and with the arbiter monitoring the room, and even he can hear what the assistant say or what the player say, very clear. And we have an individual time displays of the both players.
I have a query. Earlier in the previous, not in this one, article 3.2, it was shown like, a player may play with computer with mouse or with a tablet. But if a player is using a tablet, then he can play on the platform, any particular platform, but he can't be, most of the tablets doesn't permit multitasking. Even though the player is connected in Zoom, if he is actively, he's playing on the leeches or chess.com, his Zoom will be paused. So because I have come across scenarios where the player will be active, connected in Zoom, but player may not be knowing he or she is paused.
Yeah, but according to regulation for events, online events, most players will be on Zoom and same time will be on the platform. So if he disconnect from platform, so not acceptable. They have a time to return back again. Same thing if he's already online, on live playing, but for some reason he out of the or disconnect from the Zoom, so the game will stop. The game will stop, arbiter will stop the game until you come back to the Zoom. So
Right. I understand that one, but the thing is, in that Article 3.2 mentions about tablet, but
yes,
when using a tablet, there's a problem. The player can't be at the same time connected in the any platform, the playing platform, as well as in Zoom. One of them will be, if the player is coming active on Zoom, the other one will be paused or hanging. Or if the player is coming actively playing on the platform, the Zoom will be paused. That was an issue that I have seen sometimes earlier.
okay, this happened to you?
No, to
Happened to
another
some?
player. Yeah, to a player.
Okay. Okay, for this reason, they're not now. Before, from beginning, it was even allowed by mobile phone you play. Now they're very strict. Only by laptop. You have laptop and computer, nothing else. So
Yeah,
only
laptop
you
and
can use
computer.
only you can use mobile phone for one reason, only for second camera. For second camera to keep in the room for monitoring, and this mobile phone must be switched off completely. Only use camera, only camera without sound. No, it must be mute. Microphone must be mute. Only use camera. If he the room another no another camera to cover the area. Only this reason we allowed. Otherwise, not allowed any mobile phone, because arbiter or fair play people, they will go inside the room and check everything what's down, because we found many cheating during some Asian events online, and a player was keeping the mobile phone under the table. Okay, we cannot see under the table. For that, we ask everybody to fix second camera on the one side and to show us what's down floor and what is in the down below the tables and on the floor everywhere. We check. Then we discover many mobile phone there. We check another screen was there. Many people was using this method, was cheating. For that, we always say not allowed any devices except one screen, one laptop only will be in the room. Even if we discover another laptop, even switch off, we give them 0. Even second laptop just switched off, not open, we give 0, because this is regulation. They have to follow the regulation. Like when enter the chess tournament, we said not allowed to enter any device, no mobile phone, no laptop, nothing, no iPad, not any device not allowed. But I discover a player enters any device, so immediately I make him lose. I give 1 point for the opponent. This is regulation. We have to follow the regulation. Okay, from beginning it was allowed many things, but after a while we make some control and decide which is the available allowed, which is not allowed. Okay, so we have a player does not complete the prescribed number of the move in the allotted time, the game is lost by that player. Same like normal over the board, the game is automatically drawn if the position such as that opponent cannot checkmate the player's king by any possible series of legal moves. So immediately we have some position, if king with a knight, with a king against king and knight, king against king and bishop, and so this is automatically draw. So no need to wait 50 moves, the automatic draw. If we find the did position, so automatically draw. Don't wait for 50 moves. If you see you are playing online, but still allowed you to play and move your pieces, but the game is dead position. Impossible anyone win. For automatically, arbiter will post and stop the clock and give draw. So we have right to do something during online. We have to go inside the system and stop and make pause. For example, if any claim come from opponent, for example, opponent, they send message via chat in the Zoom, said, arbiter, my opponent always looking right side or left side. Or maybe he's cheating, maybe he's talking with someone. So in this case, what shall I do as an arbiter? I have to go to the system, first of all, post the game, stop the clock, then discover and check. If we find something like this, make him lose. If nothing proof, okay, continue. And he has to take his decision. Even after the finish the game, if we get some claim or protest from a player or team captain against a player or result, so in this case also they have to send by protest fees to the organizer or chairman of appeals committee. Then we, after 1 hour or between after end of the game, half an hour or 1 hour, depending on what written in the regulation. So they have fun check and see the problem, and if really we found something like this, so we can give a punishment for the player or maybe withdraw him from competition. And for every online competition, I am talking about Asian Chess Federation. So we use our system after finish the game. We send all PGN files. We send to the professor or Dr. Reagan. Dr. Reagan, he's in charge to discover any violence and any cheating during the game. He's a very experienced person. He's from FIDA. We send them all games, and after 6-7 hours, they send all report about everybody, all players, what he was score, if a score is a real score or something, maybe he used some method, some device or for cheating. So very clear he can discover, because he looks for his history of the player. Because he has Professor Reagan, they have many engines, they easy can check everyone. For example, if I just I seen Mr. Obay, his ELO 2100, but always he's beating the high rating 2600, 2500, something wrong. I don't think, okay, maybe he win 1, 2, but not every time, something wrong. So here we send his file, all files, PGN files, to Professor Reagan, and he will discover, and he will check his history. When the guy became a good title, or when got his last ELO, from which competition, why he's winning against this strong players, and then we discover and then understand if he guy this cheating or not. So we send a report for everyone. So always we have after end we check by Professor Reagan, and even check via platform itself. So chess.com leeches, they have very strong anti-cheating. Immediately when they discover someone cheat, they stop the account. They are stop the account. This means they were cheating using some engine. Then the game is automatically draw when the same position appear for the third time. So here no need to play, ask opponent for 3-4 repetition, or ask arbiter, please 3-4 repetition. No need, because computer automatically they give draw. This is not over the board. Over the board, yes. One is my turn. For example, I will my move will repeat for 3 times. For that, here I have to record in the score sheet first, then ask arbiter, please, arbiter, this is my move. After this move, they will be repeat 3 times. Here, no, there is not such a case. The automatic, the system will discover. So when become 3-4 repetition, 3 times repeating, they will discover the automatic computer give draw. Here's it will be different between the over the board or online. The players to move has no longer move, and king is not in a check. The game is set to end a stalemate. So here stalemate same as over the board, same thing, we don't play. And player can checkmate the opponent's king with any series of legal move. So sometimes in over the board, if your flag falls, this meaning you lost by a flag and opponent won. But the rules said we have to check the opponent. He has material to win or not. If he has material, yes, I give him 1 point. If no material, oh, the opponent king with any serious legal move, don't have any serious or legal move to win or give a checkmate to the opponent. If we don't have, they give draw. So here also they have to discover via the engine. So even the rule of the 50 moves by computer, the automatic, they discover if 50 move, here have to calculate, or players has to calculate, and easy to discover because already they have PGN file. When they playing, already in right side, can see all his move. You can just count it 1, 2, 3 until 50 move. If there's 50 move rules without any capturing of pieces or without any movement of the pawn, in this case, okay, I have to stop the clock. Arbiter, please. We played 50 moves without any capturing and without any movement of pawn. In this case, okay, I am claimed for the draw, and arbiter has to check and they give him the draw if that what correct claim. Then we have online competition may be played under the following format: without specific player supervision and with a supervision. Okay. Then we have a playing Zoom without the supervision of the arbiter, and online chess is the most generic term for internet chess game. So the regulation of this kind of event are specified by the playing zone. So we have some control, some monitoring. In the over the board, we have arbiter there in the room, the control player before enter the room or enter the hall. We check if he's carrying something like electronic device or not. But on the within platform or on the Zoom, arbiter has to make share screen with the player. The share screen with his laptop or desktop, and the share must be even for the task manager, and from task manager will be very clear which software is open in the Zoom, because according to the regulation online, not allowed to open any software, only Zoom and Google Chrome. If you're using Google Chrome, Zoom and platform which playing such as Lichess or chess.com. Any other software is open, any other multimedia, YouTube, anything on Instagram, immediately make him close. For that, we ask for player to share screen all until from beginning until end the game. He has to share the screen and share desktop and share the task manager. Then it will be very clear for arbiter to control the player. Then we have for hybrid chess competition is an event where all players are physically supervised by the arbiter while they play online. So we have different between online and hybrid chess. In online chess, we supervising with via Zoom. But in hybrid chess, we have two types of supervision. We have via Zoom and via arbiter. Arbiter will be in the tournament hall. The hybrid chess, this means many players from same country or same team, they're playing in one hall. And the organizer, he has to provide all materials, computers, internet, and according to regulation, two persons will be in charge there. One of the local chief arbiter, who's the normal arbiter, which control in the room, And we have the technical assistant. The job of technical assistant is in case anything happen about the communication, poor communication, poor signal. And in this case, he has to solve the problem before start the game. 1 hour he must be here and check all laptop, all computer, all device for players. Then according to this, they will give the arbiter or chief arbiter the sign that everything is okay. But in case during the game happens something wrong, disconnect, so he's the guy in charge to solve the problem. But who's in charge if the communication will be lost? The organizer, not the ACF organizer, or not FIDE, or not Asian Federation, or European any federation. The organizer, I mean local organizer. So because local organizer, especially in hybrid chess, so he's in charge for the whole tournament hall and set up all equipment, chess pieces, chess board, computer, internet, everything under his supervision. He's in charge. Anything happen, so he has to solve this problem. He has to provide water and some snacks or drinks, hot, cold drinks for the players, which sitting one place and playing chess. So this is hybrid chess. But for online, it's different. Online only we use the platform, and Zoom here we have control by arbiters and by engine. So we have also, unless the regulation of the event specified otherwise, a player who wins his game or wins by forfeit score 1 point. Who lose, so it will be 0, or draw will be half point. But almost always the normal points must be 1, 0, half. Cannot be 3 and 4 on third, or 1 quarter or third quarter. It's not allowed. Okay, I understand some country they use 3 points for win, 1 point for draw. Okay, at the end, when they want to send report to the FIDE, they have to send normal result, 1, half, and 0. The player's venue is divided as the playing area and the toilet, restroom, and other. The playing area is defined as the room where the player can place his or his move. The regulation of the competition may be required. The playing area should be monitoring by the camera. So we have camera, we have hybrid chess, we have arbiter, control the room, and we have one camera which control all the room with the arbiter and people movement inside the room. And even if the player want to go to the toilet or outside the room, it's very clear to discover where he's going, because the camera is cover the room, cover the area, or cover the hall. The regulation for the competition may be required. The playing area should be monitoring by the cameras. No one except the player are allowed to be in the playing area. So in playing area, only players, arbiters, players, arbiters. If for each 10 player, 1 arbiter. If have for example 15 players, so we have 2 arbiter in the room. So the regulation is for each 10, 1. So if you have 30 players, we have 3 arbiters. Then we have technical local assistant will be in that tournament or in the venue. Then nobody allowed us to be inside, only these people. Sometimes the VIP guest is coming to come and see. We allowed only first 5 minutes to come and take photo picture. Then after 5 minutes, we're not allowed. Anybody will be inside the tournament hall. No one except the player are allowed, and they said the time control and method of implementation shall be specified in competition regulation. So in competition regulation, we must to mention what time control we're using for. Is this a Blitz Championship, Rapid, or Standard chess? So we have to mention about time control. If the playing zone allowed players to move pieces in interaction, so according to Article 3.3 moves, then we have here the competition regulation shall specify about default time. So sometimes, same like over the board, if in the competition regulation mentioned the default time 30 minutes after start, so anybody come after start 30 minutes, he lose the game. So he has only 30 minutes for default time, but if not mentioned about default time, will be 0. So if not mentioned regulation about default time will be 0. This is for over the board. Even for the online competition, once the chief arbiter give a signal to start the round, in this case, if there is no default time, anybody not in the platform, he lose the game. But if we have, for example, time delay 15 minutes, so the black will run the white clock, and he has 50 minutes. Within 50 minutes, he have to come and play. If not come within 15 minutes, so the white will be lost by time. Also, white shall lose all the time that elapsed until he is arrived. So 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever, must be mentioned in the regulation. The playing zone must record the offer of the draw next to the player move when the draw is offered. So in this case, if we have hybrid chess, in hybrid chess, a player he's playing and he record. He have a score sheet and record his move. And beside, if there are 3-4 repetition or offer draw, he has to mention in the symbol of equal next to the number of move, which mean that, okay, in this number, we offer a draw. So it's very easy to just offer and mention the equal sign. The player shall take no action that will be bring the game of the chess into disrupt, including the way of the player behaves. So even in the Zoom, same like over the board. An over the board game not allowed to disrupt your opponent any matters and any way, even not shake the chairs or shake the tables or make sound something. So even in the platform, in the Zoom, don't open your music, record or something, make noise and singing during the game. So this all not allowed. Each player shall connect to the playing Zoom with the authorized device. So what is authorized device? Device, we have laptop, we have computer, mouse. This is which authorized device. Others not allowed. Cannot use 2 devices or more. This means cannot use 2 computer, cannot use 2 laptop, not allowed. Only 1 computer which I use until end, 1 laptop until end. Each player shall use his personal account. So we face during the online, some players enter by wrong account. So you have to create for example, chess.com or Lichess. You have to create your own account and enter with this account all during the tournament from first round until last round. I know some players, they have more than 1 account, but you have always to use 1 account for competition. You have to previous and send with the registration all details about your account to the organizer. So organizer only watch this account. Any account you enter other than which register, we not consider. So must be under the name. When you enter your account, when you enter to the Zoom, you have to be your name mentioned and your federation. And if there is category of the event, for example, under 10, under 12, and you have to write O, meaning open, under 12, or G, gear, under 12. So must be specified the word about your name, federation, and the which category you playing. And players must wear appropriate clothing when visible on the camera. So not allowed to be naked, not allowed to be wearing some t-shirt, some cloth with the something bad word, bad picture. So even the dress code must be very well during this competition. So even if in hybrid chess venue, no slippers, no shorts, no shirt or clothes with offensive words. During the game, a player may leave the playing area, but he has to take permission from arbiter. Even he lost the game, or even he finished the game, he have to take permission from arbiter. Okay, arbiter will go. Because maybe after this round, automatically the next round will start. For that, he has to say, please, okay, allowed you to go, but you have 5 minutes to come back to the venue. So the playing venue only with the permission of the arbiter. For example, he want to go to washroom and other. We give permission to go, but when he playing, not allowed. He has to finish the game, then take permission and go outside. But if he's playing, especially in blitz tournament, how we can leave and go outside? So we lose immediately. We lose that time because this is blitz very fast. And during play, the players are forbidden from using any electronic devices. Notice. So even the recorder, music and other, you cannot use in the venue. Any sources not allowed. Even magazine, chess magazine, book, anything cannot be on the table. Table only will be chess devices which you're using for competition with a mouse only, nothing else. Then not allowed to have headphone. So many players were they're using headphones, so headphone is not allowed because I don't know, maybe inside the headphone something small metal inside, and maybe used for cheating. For that, even not allowed headphone. Device which is not specific approved by the arbiter, not allowed. Any device, any electronic device not approved by arbiters, not allowed to be used or to be in the tournament hall in the venue. If became evident that a player has forbidden device in playing venue, the player should lose the game. Okay, if the competition, for example, in same day we have so many rounds, he was using the device, we give him loss, and second round even he used another device. In this case, maybe arbiter take strong decision to remove him or withdraw him from the competition. The chief arbiter can also decide to exclude the player from the competition. The arbiter may require the player to show his clothes back. So sometimes we have a woman participating in the event, maybe some Islamic woman which cover the head. For that, they don't like to open the cover, and all arbiters and other men to watch her hair. For that, in privacy, we take them to create one room in the Zoom, this private room for the anti-cheating. So if the gear, we send one arbiter gear woman to go and discover and check what she is carrying. And during checking, not allowed to record. So administrator of the Zoom will stop recording inside this room because this is privacy. Then you have to check body if it needs and other thing. It must be done in private by person who the same gender. So this is search must be not be recorded. It is forbidden to distract or annoy the opponent in any manner whatever. So even this is even like offering the draw every time, draw. Yeah, in this case, even not allowed. An arbiter can give sanction to the player. So also we have players who have finished their game shall be considered to be spectator. So now you like spectator, like over the board. Over the board, you're playing in a playing area. Once you finish your game, you go outside playing area, now became spectators, so not allowed to come inside. Same thing in the Zoom. For example, in the Zoom, competition, we have 100 players. For each 10 player, we keep in one room, separate room. So in this room, room A, for example, 2 players is finished. So in this case, they became spectator, and they have to leave the room. But it was, if this was the team competition, and team captain there with them in the room, okay, he has to stay until end to finish all his team member. And also we have mute the microphone, switch off their camera, and stop screen. Once you finish the game, any player finish his game online, he has to mute the microphone, switch off camera, then stop sharing screen. Then stop sharing screen, then he can leave and go outside. A player should have the right to request from the arbiter an explanation of particular points in the FIDE online chess regulation. Maybe in technical meeting, the players not attend technical meeting, and he doesn't know about the rules of default time. How many minutes default time? He doesn't know. In this case, he has a right and can ask arbiter about this regulation. And a player may appeal against the decision of the arbiter. Maybe arbiter took decision and give 0 for a players for some reason. Maybe he discovered a player always looking in the right side, not looking straight to the camera, and he's feeling that the guy is maybe using engine or cheating or talking to someone, and they give him 0, make him lost. But a player, after end the round, he went to the appeal, take protest and give a protest fee, and because in this case he has a right, and to claim and go to take go appeals against the decision of the arbiter or chief arbiter, any arbiters or chief arbiter or deputy chief arbiter. So this include must be appeals against the result of the game or against the maybe decision of the arbiter. Players may be observe other games from their current competition. If you have a hybrid chess like normal over the board, allowed you to observe and see your opponents or member of team game, but don't be close, and always when you go to watch, be behind of your team. Don't be in the front of the player, behind of the player. And players are forbidden from accessing any kind of game analyzed during the playing. So not allowed to talk with your any opponent or with anybody during the game. Then we have the arbiter rule, and the arbiter shall ensure fair play. So this is important. So you have to check in online chess. He has to first of all share a screen with the player and to check his desktop and check what type of software is open. If in hybrid chess, so before enter, they have to check the body by super scanner, by frame like airport, and so on. Depend over the type of event, level of event, and level of the participants. They have to check and ensure that the good playing environment is maintained, checking the lighting, camera. So if in online we see the player playing, sometimes sitting close to the window at his room, and the lighting coming inside and cover his face. I cannot see his body or face or his hand carefully. Then in this case we have to tell him, please change your position or close your window or certain like this. And also you have to check camera. And some players you can find only half of head. I cannot see complete face. So we ask him, please set up the angle of the camera up or down until we be face clear. So even this is job of arbiter. and ensure that the players are not disturbed, and supervise the progress of the competition, take a specific measurement for disable, and follow the anti-cheating rules, guidance, and observe the game. So always we have to observe the game, and maybe appoint assistant to the observe game and player. So one, as I said, maybe one of player, the disabled player, they cannot move the piece by his hand, or we cannot use the mouse by his hand. In this case, he needs assistant. After approval from the FIDE, then they can set up assistant and monitoring the assistant inside the room with the player. The arbiter must not intervene in the game except in case disturbed by the FIDE online regulation. So I cannot stop the game only in one way, when I found that the position it's draw, like dead position, but computer allowed players to continue playing. For what? If they play until tomorrow, nothing happened. But here, arbiter can intervene, stop the clock, and announce draw. Players in other game must not speak about the otherwise interfere in the game. So spectators are not allowed also, especially in over the board, in hybrid chess, not allowed spectator will be inside and speak. The arbiter may be expel offenders from the playing venue and forbidden for anybody to use mobile phones. So mobile phone is forbidden for everywhere, online chess, hybrid chess, and over the board, all forbidden. Then we have the penalties we give for the players according to Article 10.9. And over the board in laws of chess, we have Article 12.9. This is for the regularity for the punishment of players. We have 9 articles. Now we have Article 10.9.1, start with a warning and with increasing the remaining time of the opponent, then reducing time, the fourth one, increasing the points, and reducing the points and declaring the game to be lost. Maybe someone will ask me, what's different between increasing the time points and reducing the point? For example, the game finished with a draw. So finish with a draw, but before the final register the result, and one player says some bad word to to the opponent, and they were fighting, blah blah blah. Then arbiter decide to change the result, and instead to be half-half, and decide to give 0 point with half point for the opponent, or reducing. This means reduce or increase time. If it was 0-1, for example, I am lost. Then in some reason that my opponent said very disrupt me, maybe said some bad word, maybe shouting, some blah blah. According to Article 12.9, arbiter decide to make him lose. So in this case, maybe I have 0, so maybe give half point to me or 1 point, so increase for him, reduce, make lost. So here you can say increase and decrease the point, but the point always must be 1 point total, maximum 1, cannot be more than what I mean. If the game is draw, half and half, then I need to punch the player, give, for example, 0. I cannot give other 1 point and other half point. So total will be 1.5. So always must be 1 point totally, not 1/3, not 2/3, not 3/3, not 1.5. Must be 0, half, or 0, 0, 0, half, half, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. Only this is the result. Otherwise, not accept. Then declare the game lost. Then we have fine announcement in advance. Article 12.9.7. This is the new article, which means in our regulation, they mention not allowed any electronic devices. Okay. One of players, we discover he bring electronic devices. So according to regulation, he will lose the game and the opponent will get 1 point. But there is another penalty, extra penalty. He has to pay fine $400. For example, $200 must be mentioned in regulation. We give two sanctions. One, we make him lose. Second sanction is he has to pay penalty of fine $200, $300 according to what mentioned in regulation. So this article, new article, we can use. Okay. Then we have exclusion from the one or more round, and arbiter decide because the guy is not follow the regulation and he bring his device inside the tournament hall. Okay, now I give a penalty. I make him lose. I give him penalty to pay $200. Then I will exclude them from the next round. So if we have round 4, so round 5, I will not make him pairing, will be exclusive. Maybe return back to the next round. So arbiter can use one or more of sanction in one game. During one game can use 3 sanction maximum. So then we have exclusion from the competition, but Article 10.9.9, this is job of the organizer. So chief arbiter, he has notice about the player, and then the final decision from exclusion will be from organizer competition, and the player responsible to be connect to the playing zone. His responsibility to enter, and also the competition regulation shall state the consequence and potential sanction in the case of disconnection from the playing zone during the match. So who's in charge for disconnect? A player. Who's in charge to disconnect from the leeches or chess.com platform? Players is himself. So in this case, arbiter has to give some sanction if he disconnect from the Zoom. For example, give warning and then detect minute. It happened to us in one Asian events championship. It was in our regulation. If a player disconnect, he was online in platform, but he disconnect from the Zoom. In this case, we give him warning card, so he has within 2 minutes come back. If within 2 minutes not come back, so he will lose the game. So we create the rules for the disconnect from the Zoom. But if you disconnect from the Zoom, in this case, also arbiter has to stop, push the game, then until he come back to Zoom, then we go restart again to continue. And during a game, if a player disconnected from the playing zone, his clock shall continue running. It's continuing running, but he has to come back within 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending on the regulation. If the player can reconnect to the game before his remaining thinking time elapses, so in this case, he shall continue playing with thinking time. But if he playing with the blitz time control, so difficult to return back. But if with the standard chess, he has the time to come to the Zoom early. The arbiter shall decide whether further sanctions are appreciated. So we have article 10.91, so we can use any type of sanction, warning or detect or reduce some minutes or increase some minutes to the opponent and so on. If the player cannot reconnect to the game before remaining thinking time, game will be over. Then that the player shall lose the game. And during a disconnection, both players must not leave their place without permission of the arbiter. So the arbiter has control and to see if the player not using another device or another method or any people talking with them, talk information. And during the game, the player shall play with a single screen and share it with the arbiter unless specified otherwise. Then we have shared task manager. not only disk top, only task manager. We have to share the task manager, because from task manager we can see all software, all windows which are open. And during the playing session, the arbiter shall have access upon request to the open application of the player device. No application other than the one used to play, only one. And video conference system must be open on player device during the session. So if for example, arbiter responsible in one room, in the Zoom, and in this room we have 10 players, for example, so he has to record his room, arbiter. And so each arbiter has to record his room, and the chief arbiter of the technical manager of the event, he has to record the Zoom, completely Zoom. In case anything happen, we can refer to the recorder from the Zoom itself or from the room. Easy to check and control. Then we have when a play under the video supervision competition shall provide a video conference system. We have and full view of the player display at least their face. So we have his face must be very clear to the arbiter. As I said, cannot be half head, and I have to check his eyes, control his eyes, because he's using laptop or computer PC camera. So his eyes must be always in the straight, in the middle of the screen. Cannot go left and right side. Why is go left and right side? If go there, maybe somebody close to him or some other screen on the right or left side, he's using a device or a machine for cheating. And then we have audio of the player and surrounding area must be very clear, and support of the screen sharing by the player, and each player is required to connect to the video conference. And if player disconnect from the video conference but still connect to the playing Zoom, then the player is forbidden from moving a piece. So he has to come back to video conference, then he continue to play his move. The competition regulation may be specified that system of yellow warning. So if there is system, because we create yellow warning first time, then red. If first time I lose connection, I will give yellow, and you have to come back within 2 minutes. If again you disconnect, so in this case I will give you red card. This means you lose the game. So we give you 2 chances. The player shall use webcam that show his complete face during the game. No virtual background shall be allowed. The room lighting must be sufficient to allow broadcasting and movement of the player's eyes. So a player's microphone must always transmit any sound audible near the player, maybe parents, because we discover in some room, a player was sitting with his father. Okay, his father was little bit far, but very clear from his leg was there, and maybe he was using a laptop, something, and give him information. So it was kind of cheating, and then we make the players lose the game. Extra monitoring device may be sometimes using to cover all the room, all venue. Then each player is entitled to ask for an arbiter assistant if they need. And the player has no valid reason for going, so he may be penalized in accordance with Article 10.9. If a game has started with the color reserve, so according to the FIDA laws of chess, so he has 10 moves. If the before 10 moves of the black, so that we play a new game with the correct color. But if they already played more than 10 moves of the black, so they shall continue. And after 10 moves or more, the game shall continue. If a game is not draw automatically when one of the situation described, and in this case, the arbiter will declare the game draw. Then we have playing zone automatically declare a draw in the construction with the Article 4. So the arbiter is entitled to modify automatic results. So as I said, arbiter can push the clock and go and score the result draw. When they see some position is automatic draw, like a king with a bishop against king, king with a knight against king, and this all materials automatic. This is draw, so no need to play 50 moves. So automatic you go push the game the clock and give a draw. If the game need to be interrupted for any reason, the arbiter shall push the chess clock if possible. And if it is not possible, the arbiter may add additional time for one or both players. Then the chief organizer designated the playing venue for the competition. So who's responsible for the chess competition? In hybrid chess, the chief organizer. So each playing venue is under the control of the local organizer. For example, we have a competition between pairing come between UAE and Sudan. So UAE, they have 10 players, which is playing in the Dubai Chess Club venue, and Sudan, they're playing in Sudan Chess Federation. So in this case, so we have people there, people here in Dubai Chess Club and other people in Federation, Sudan Chess Federation, okay? Now, the local organizer in Emirates and local organizer in Sudan, they have to provide all things required for the competition: chessboard, chess clock, score sheet, and a laptop, computer, internet, lighting. Everything must be, and even must provide with 2 persons. One of them is a technical assistant, other of chief local arbiter. So must be under control of the local organizer. Each local organizer is required to provide a playing venue suitable to the host a hybrid chess competition. And the playing venue is defined as the playing area and another place as designated by the arbiter. So the playing area is defined as the place where the game of the competition are played. Only players and arbiter are allowed access to the playing area. Maybe allowed within the first 5 minutes of the start the game. Maybe some guests come, some VIP, they want to take some photos. So first 5 minutes we allowed to come and visit the players and take some photo. Then after that, not allowed. Then we have each playing venue must be monitoring by the camera, panoramic camera. Panoramic camera because hybrid chess. In hybrid chess, we need camera of the laptop, of the PC, and one camera, panoramic camera, which cover all area, everything inside the hall. And each local organizer is responsible for providing an internet connection in the playing venue. Players are not responsible for their connection. So in this case, in hybrid chess, the responsible of the organizer, but in online chess, responsible of the player. In each venue, electronic devices used for the conducting online games device are provided by the local organizer. So during the game, each player shall have access his playing device to the virtual chessboard and any software required to this purpose. So no other website, application, or software can be opened. So I am in Dubai Chess Club with other 9 players. We playing according to the hybrid chess. So hybrid chess mean I play with the other side people, other party outside of my country. So I have to play over the chessboard, real over chessboard, all over the computer or laptop. So in case 2 players from same federation playing according to pairing to each other, so two from UAE. They are in the Dubai Chess Club. The computer pair them together. In this case, arbiter has to ask the both player, you want to play online or you want to play over the board? So if they said you want to play over the board, so in this case, we have to provide chessboard, a traditional board, chess pieces, score sheet, pen, set up the clock according to time break, according to the time control. Then they have to play. And in this case, we have to use all laws of chess articles such as touch move, 3-4 repetition, 50 moves, and so on. So here, how to control by arbiter. If one of players no, I will play online, even they're sitting next to each other, so they have to play online. So during the game, each player shall have access, as I said, and no other website application must be used software. And the only exception may be video communication system if required by the competition regulation. So must be camera there. At least 2 arbiters will be appointed for each playing venue. As I said, local chief arbiter for each 10 player, 1. If more than 10, we have to assign another arbiter and 1 local technical arbiter. The total number of arbiters required in each playing venue will be vary depending on the kind of event and the system. And sometimes we have top level players. For example, we have Magnus Carlsen, Caruana, and so on, Wesley. So top level players. In this case, we not go for each 10 players 1 arbiter. No, can be less or more arbiter. Can maybe for each game will be, each match will be 1 arbiter, or each for 2 match will be 1 arbiter, and depend of the type of level, type of the event, and the level of the players. And then the competition regulation shall specify a default time in advance. If the default time is not specified, then will be 0. The playing zone must record the offer of the draw next to the player's move when the draw is offered. So always we have beside to draw in the score sheet, write the sign of equal, and the player shall take no action that will bring the game of chess into disrupt. So always we have to control. The players are not allowed to use their own playing devices in the playing venue. For example, I bring my laptop. If the organizer provide laptop or computer in the venue, so not allowed bring my device to the playing venue, and forbidden to have any electronic device not specified or approved by the arbiter. The arbiter or person authorized by the arbiter shall inspect the player and shall be the same gender. In case we have to go to the private room, if over the Zoom, or in hybrid chess, we have to go in the room privacy and check body according to the gender of the player. Then we have the chief arbiter can also decide to exclude a player from the competition. And the competition regulation may be allowed personal electronic devices to be stored in the playing bag. Sometimes in over the board and hybrid chess, a player came to the venue and he discovered that there's no place or no safe box to carry mobile phone, to carry my laptop. Where shall I keep it? In this case, allowed a player keep his device or a mobile phone inside the bag, and after a permission from the arbiter, he can bring it inside the tournament hall in the venue, but will be far from his table and not allowed to go there until he finished the game. Not allowed to go and open the bag until finish the game. The bag must be placed as agreed with the local chief arbiter. So during the game, the players are forbidden to use any notice, sources, information, receive advice. If it is forbidden to distract or annoy the opponent for any manner. So During the game, a player may leave the playing area or playing venue only within the permission of the arbiter. So in the online, he has to take permission from arbiter, online arbiter, if during the hybrid chess competition. So we have local chief arbiter. He can take permission from local chief arbiter and went to the washroom and maybe go for smoking if allowed and so on. Then the player shall follow the dress code everywhere. Can use an online chess, hybrid chess, over the board must be a dress code, and appeals against the decision of the arbiter must also be mentioned after how many minutes will be after end of the round, according to the regulation must be specified, and the arbiter shall see the regulation observing ensure. So the same rule of arbiter in hybrid chess and same is online chess. Now I can give you example before I finish. Must finish because I have another seminar arbiter, but very fast in 10 minutes I will give you example in a zonal chess competition, an Asian zonal chess competition, Zone 3.1. This was a technical meeting, and technical meeting we discussed about the regulation of the online chess. So it was fair play rules. Players should not speak to other during the game. Toilets should be exclusive for the players and arbiters. Body scan player before entering the playing area. Then feed anti-cheating protection measure. In case of any playing venue, the fair play measure are not fully applied, or the fair play violence incident regarding. So we have something about violation, and in case any violation, here it was very, the penalties was very strong penalty. So they give up to 15 years ban from the official FIDE event. So 15 years, very strong penalty. So it was before nothing mentioned about this penalties, but 2-3 years, but now up to 15 years ban from the any official FIDE events and FIDE rated tournament, and FIDE international organizer maybe also lose his title. Maybe if the case of evidence was because of organizer, and even organizer, they can punish them organizer, and the international organizer can they lose his title, or arbiter can lose his title also. So several or all players spending this federation may be banned. Maybe if according to team competition, if 2 or 3 member of team that cheating each other, maybe they banned all of them. Then for equipment, what type of equipment we use? We use laptop, and we use the screen, but earphone is not allowed to use. So players maybe play only on laptop or desktop, only laptop and desktop. Wearing headphone or earphone are not allowed. You have the option to prevent mouse slip by clicking on the original square and then distance of square. Zoom looks like this. When they enter the Zoom, arbiter has to see all players on the Zoom according to the which room, how many players. He has to watch their face, will be very clear, and control them. Players must be arrived in the Zoom call at least 1 hour before the start of the days of play. For example, today 3 p.m. I have by 2 p.m. be in the Zoom. Arbiter has 10 players, have to share for each player, sharing his desktop or task manager, and check what type of software is open. Players are required to write their real name in Zoom call in the following area. When they enter player to the Zoom, he must be write his real name and with a country code, and if there is category, and also with category, if category under 10, under 12, 14, open or gear. He has also mentioned about category. The example here, RII, Iran, from Iran, Pahlawan Bahram from Iran. They mentioned he's from Iran and the name is Bahram. Then the Zoom. Microphone and video should always be open. It is not allowed for player to use virtual Zoom background. Players are required to share their screen at the time and open task manager always on top. Only, okay, you have to share a screen, task manager, and this will be always on the top, not down in the bottom, right or left, be on the top to be very clear for arbiter to always be control and check. It is forbidden to have any applications running on the computer other than Zoom and web browser with the Tornado. So only three things must be open: Zoom, web browser, Google Chrome, any type of web browser, and with Tornado platform or Lichess or chess.com software. Then we have playing venue. The playing venue for the hybrid chess looks like this picture, that they're sitting okay next to each other, but each one with his computer, not allowed to speak to each other. So they're waiting the opening to play and they answer. They have their laptop and they have their mouse. So playing should be well lit. There should be an external noise. So no noise. Only player and arbiter are allowed access to the playing area during the game. Player may leave the playing area and venue with permission of the local chief arbiter. So I am sitting here in this room. If I want to go to the washroom, when I play my move, I have to take permission from arbiter and go for washroom. So when I finish my game, in this case, I have switch off. I mute the microphone and close the camera, and then I leave, go outside because I became a spectator, so no more allowed to enter this area, only arbiter and players. Playing venue also must be set up with a camera, panoramic camera. Each playing venue must be monitoring by the cameras. Only players with the approved webcam and panoramic camera will be allowed to play. The panoramic camera should show clear view of the playing area, and players may not leave view of the panoramic camera without permission of local chief arbiter. And sometimes we find the arbiter players is disappear. He's not in the area. I don't know where the guy. Then I have, as an arbiter, Zoom arbiter, communicate with the local chief arbiter, asking where the player. I cannot see him in the camera. Then he can explain to you, oh, is he went to the washroom? Are you coming back? So we have communicate with the player. Okay, if I want to communicate with the player direct via Zoom, so I have to go to the chat. Don't go to the room and ask him, please open camera, please open. You will bother other players in the room. If only a player in the one room, no problem. But if you have many players, so when you talk, so will be noisy and disturb and lose concentrate with the other players. For that, you have better to go to the chat. Okay, you will face the problem sometimes. Maybe a player's different language cannot understand English language, maybe from China or other language. Then in this case, you have to go to Google. First of all, try to send in English word. If you don't understand, try to go to the Google Translate by his language, send to chat. If he not reply, go contact with the team captain or head delegate. Then he allowed him to enter to the Zoom and let him to speak with the players what you need exactly to say to him. Then playing venue, not allowed to enter mobile phone. In each playing venue, the fair play measures should be applied in accordance with the FIDE anti-cheating regulation and FIDE anti-cheating protection measures. Unless authorized by the arbiter, it is forbidden for anybody to use mobile phone or any kind of communication device in the playing venue or any contiguous area designated by the arbiter. Playing video, as you said, the guy is playing hybrid chess. In hybrid chess, he has laptop and he has traditional board, a small traditional board, okay? But in case he want to play his move, he has to play first in the laptop. After he plays his move on the laptop, then now he has to play on his traditional board. So not allowed to play move on the traditional board, then transfer to the laptop. In this case, arbiter has to give him penalties. A traditional chessboard may be used by the player. Each player is responsible for moving pieces on his traditional board. The only allowed action on the traditional board is reproduction, the move play on the virtual board made by each side. The virtual chessboard and virtual chess clock remain on the definitive record of the game. Use the traditional board is optional. So this is optional if you want to use or not use. But as I said, you have to play first on the laptop or online, then you have to move on the traditional. Players who begin with a traditional board then use only laptop cannot be returned to use traditional board in the same period. So if you have two choice, if you using from beginning traditional board, so only you can continue with traditional. If you use the laptop, you use the laptop. So if you have laptop, half part of game you play with a laptop and half part it said, okay, now I will change, easy for me to play by computer. So in this case, not allowed. Then we have, in case two players in same room and the computer give pairing from same country, same federation in hybrid chess, so arbiter has to ask both players if they agree to play over the board. If he said yes, we play over the board, then they have to play over the board. After they finish the game, they have to transfer the moves, the PGN file to the online, to the server. So in case two players playing from the same playing venue are paired together, the local chief arbiter may decide the game between them may be played over the traditional board. Such as decision may be taken only if the player conditions are suitable and both players agree. So the condition has to agree, both. Then for such game, the feudal laws of chess shall apply. The result and PGN file should be entered by the players and submitted after the round to the zonal chief arbiter. Then disconnection. The National Federation is responsible for providing internet connection, and before the start of the game, arbiter will check your internet connection to Tornado, to chess.com, to chess, and so on. And Asian Chess Federation or FIDE or European or any federation or Tornado have no responsibility for technical problems arising for the player during the game. So who's in charge? Local organizer. And in case it is Tornado server problem, we can try to resume game from the position rected. In the case of disconnection, a player may be reconnected and return to the game. If they have a time, he will return. If there is no time, he will lose the time and he will lose the game. While there is still time on their clock, provided they are at all time complete with the fair play regulation, unless there is technical issue. For the avoidance of the doubt, a player may not make a move on the chessboard until they have reconnect to the Zoom call. So always you have to be in a Zoom call. If you disconnect from the Zoom, in this case, arbiter has to pause the clock and stop until they come back to the Zoom, then they restart again. Time control. So according to the regulation, what time control you will use must be written and mentioned in the competition regulation. For example, in Asian, it was time control 90 minutes for the first 40 moves, then followed by the 30 minutes for the rest of the game with an increment of 30 seconds per move, start from move one. This was system like Chess Olympiad system. And the default time is 30 minutes from the starting time. So even the mention about the default time, pairing, the pairing they were using Java for, like the Swiss manager, same thing. Then we were transferred to the system, but now this pairing Java for automatic make pairing, so no need to transfer. Before we were using the because Tornado, they have very good features, so no need to transfer one by one. Once the chief arbiter announces start the game, that press the clock and all game will start. But in chess.com, need to transfer round match by match to the system. Then we start the game. Take a little bit time. In the last round, player from the same federation who have more than 50% not allowed to pair each other. So what we'll do in this case, we have many players, for example, from UAE. I don't like for last round, 2 from UAE play to each other. Maybe one no chance to give point to other and so on. To stop this, we made not allowed 2 of same country to play each other in the last round if they already score 50% or more. Then what we'll do, first of all, let pairing do normal pairing, and we check. If there are 2 from same country, then we make forbidden pairing. If no, then let's pairing will be normally work. Forbidden pairing shall be controlled by the Swiss manager. Pairing will be published in the chessresult.com as soon as possible after each round, unless there are pending appeals. Then at the end, okay, we have champion. Then the tie-break system, we use average rating of opponent, cut 1. Then Buchholz cut 1, then Buchholz direct encounter. And if still the tie, they go for 1 game, or sudden death, or Armageddon. If the above tie break result is not tie again, then they will play 1 Armageddon game with 5 minutes for the white and 4 minutes for a black. After move 60, both players will receive an increment of 2 seconds. So until 60 move, they play normal. Once they finish 60, start from 61. So for each move, they will get increment 2 seconds per move. Starting from 61, color shall be alternative for the previous game between the tie players. If they didn't meet, then the higher rated shall have white. Then at the end, we'll see who will qualified. In case it's draw, the black will be won the game. Then we have COVID. It was that time COVID. Now 90% COVID is finished. That time was COVID. The organization should follow the health instruction, and they have provide the facial mask and facial shields and hand sanitizer, temperature scanner, a social distance, well-ventilated area, and provide drinking water for hybrid. So this was we using during the COVID. And thank you very much for listening. I'm sorry for late, and even myself, I am late. I have another seminar. And in case any question you have to write down. I don't have time to answer to you, and maybe by WhatsApp answer to you. I just give to Mr. Ubay any question you need, and when I have a free time, I will answer by WhatsApp. Thank you very much, and see you soon. Okay, Ubay?
Okay, Mr. Mahdi, there are just few questions on the chat.
I don't have time, sorry, because I have to open the Zoom for the other seminar. I'm very late.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Then we will check them on the WhatsApp group.
Okay, via WhatsApp. Just take collection and I will answer via WhatsApp. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry, guys, sorry. I have other room. I have to go now. Thank you very much, and see you. soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, after around half an hour or 35 minutes, we will have the other lecture with Mr. Mikhail Trevinius. He's a member of FIDE Fair Play Commission, and he's the chief or chairman of Arbiters Commission in the Greece Federation. So see you in 40 minutes.